Hey fam, I got a question I really want to ask you. Have you ever thought about money? When I say money, I'm talking about you work every day, you save. Where do you save it? Your money is deposited into a bank, right? You take out some, you pay some bills, you buy some things that you've been wanting to buy, and you save a little bit. Transfer it or go directly into savings. But I don't care what nobody say. I know we all have seen price increases. I know we have all seen contractors, business owners, shipping companies, restaurants. We've seen crunches, not only in staffing and in employees, but also in getting supplies. A lot of the larger companies are running off of their reserves, not necessarily of them ordering. It used to be where you can order something and expect it within a matter of days. But now, more than ever, we're seeing companies put things on backlog. At one time, you rarely heard about that because there was so much supplies and so many things going on. And then I just want to connect everything. So we watch worldwide where you have leaders of countries, they at odds, they're putting restrictions, they're putting tariffs, they're doing all kinds of things. And it's disrupting not just our economy, but worldwide economy. Then you go and you can't even hardly buy a lunch without spending at least $10. And think about it, $10 per day, or just say 20 days out of the month, $10. That's only what? Do the math. You got $10 and 20 days that you eating lunch. It's $200 a month. That's a lot of money. And then you still got to buy groceries for the family, buy everything that you need for the family. So I'm just thinking, I'm watching prices as far as rent increases. Everything is being affected. And I just had a thought about these banks. I was heavily impacted by the economic downturn that took place, and the banks wasn't doing the right thing. Lenders weren't doing the right thing. So we're watching interest rate go up. We're watching all this other stuff. Now we got banks where they're changing the rules on their customers. I've heard of a bank in particular, I won't name, they just told their customers that the minimum amount you can have in your account is $1,500. Imagine that. $1,500 has to sit in your account. And if you don't have $1,500 in your account, they're gonna charge you a monthly fee of $25. That's where we at. That's where we are, y'all. And I'm sharing this with you all because I want your minds and your brains to kind of think. If I didn't have any money, what all would I lose? If I didn't have any cash, what all would I lose? And what I'm trying to share with you all is doesn't mean this is for everybody, but I just want to ask a question. Some of us will lose a whole lot, and some of us will lose very little. My goal is to work towards, if I lose my income, I wouldn't lose nothing. I wouldn't be hungry. I wouldn't need water. I wouldn't need electricity. I wouldn't need a lot of the things that cost in life, you know. It does not mean that I can go forever without money. Absolutely not. I mean, you need to be realistic because you need to barter and trade. But when you have resources, you can't trade, even without money. So My advice to the youth, if I had to give some advice, spend your youth and your years working and investing into the infrastructure that can sustain you and your family, no matter what your financial situation is. Y'all won't miss a beat. Lamborghinis are cool, Porsches are cool. The new Vet is definitely cool. Four-wheel drive trucks, I mean, I don't think that's a bad investment, because you can always use those, or they can bring you income. But consider how you spending. I mean, clothes are nice, yeah, that's cool, feel good, look good, but don't spend all your time and your resources for things that breaks down. And everything is corruptible. We all know that. No matter whether you dig a well, whether you have solar panel, a tree could fall on them. I mean, everything is corruptible. Don't get it twisted. I realize that. But the longer you can go without needing outside resources, the better you will be. Or in times where the economy gets rough, you can't even afford a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, you want to be able to self-sustain yourself. So I encourage you to think outside the box and get out of the everyday consumerism life. And I know that may not be a word, but just think about it. Because we don't run the credit check when we get ready to open up a bank account. We need to be running credit checks, health checks, and just because they send you annual reports does not mean they showing you everything. So just so we all are clear about a bank, the bank, the money that you put in, they take that money and they invest it and lend it out. They do just like insurance. They invest it and lend it out, hoping to get a greater profit. Now, if everything is charging us a whole lot more, it's making it harder for us to obtain resources and money. It staggers growth. And I'm just saying, I watched these things happen in my lifetime. And now is a good time to get yourself together, because I feel like we already in recession, but we just don't even know it. This inflation is crazy. People are randomly charging people crazy numbers. In 4 months, I went from $400 a month RV lot rental all the way up to $1,250 in a matter of 4 months. People are wilding out here. These companies are getting everything they can because they stacking up. They building bonds, they building barns, and they stacking them up. So we as consumers, we must stack up as well and prepare. And I'm begging you, I'm encouraging you to seriously think about it. Because if you put $1,000 into your bank account and 600 is gone because they out there lending it, they don't have enough money to back you. And the moment that they alert, and this is what I want to warn you, the moment that they alert that we are in a recession, things are going, because by the time they say that we are in a recession, it's going to be way too late and we're going to be way deep in there. Which I believe personally, we are already in a recession. Most of us are just living our daily lives and not really thinking about what's really happening around us. You can't have discord with countries that have resources. You cut off your resources, they cut off their resources. It's getting hard out there for governments to buy, to exchange, to do different things. And they're driving the price up on everything because they're building their coffers through us. And after a while, we're going to feel it. And I just don't want us to be unprepared. And just understand that the moment people yell recession, people go into their banks and they're going to withdraw money. And when they withdraw the money, it's almost like a hurricane, and then you got Sam's. But if you stack a gallon of water every single month, after a while, you'll be able to have you a good substantial amount of water. So you won't be out there panic buying when the hurricane comes. You won't be in a line outside the door and they rationing out water. See, we deal with that in Florida. We did, not only Florida, I know other states deal with it. South Carolina, no, anywhere there's a body of water, California, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, wherever there's a serious body of water, we understand getting prepared, getting ready. So my goal in this video is to communicate to you is be prepared, get ready. And how do you prepare yourself? Try to reduce the amount of need to spend on a daily basis. Try to reduce the amount of things that are going outside of your household. Try to invest in things that can produce those things that you buy at your convenience of your own home. Because that way, the more and more you do that, the less you'll need and the less you are impacted or bothered by recessions, by job. I still don't understand this job situation, because they say that there's thousands of jobs, but then they still screening people to get jobs like you're not hungry to hire me. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And then we watching the level of service that they are hiring. It's like, I know it's hard to get jobs, but there's some good people out here who need some jobs, and they can do a far better job with customer service, with follow through, and take things to another level. So why are you hiring and saying it's so hard to find good help? I know in some places, yeah, it may be hard to find good help, but all across the board, so there's no way we can keep the altitude of 12,000 feet when we see everything else is sinking. It just read the signs, pay attention, and prepare yourself. Get yourself ready. I'm not ready. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not ready. I know before we sold our home, we was in a better situation, but right now, I'm working real hard to get ready and be ready, because I know somewhere we're gonna have what we call a recession. Now, how this plane lands, I don't know how it's gonna land, but I've been through a few crashes, and I just remember certain things that if I could tell myself, I would do. Instead of me buying all these cars, buying all this tech stuff and music and all kinds of stuff, now I focus on what do we need if the lights go out? What do we need if the power, internet go out? What do we need if we can't get sewage or food, meat, potatoes, rice? What do we need? It's just a nice little thing to say, okay, for about, could I make it for about a good 6 months to 8 months, maybe even a year? So just think about those things. And at the same time, just continue to grow. Be well, be safe, and stay blessed, y'all.